Hey everybody, it's Amy, and we're doing Art with Amy again for the Madison Public Library, summer 2020. Here we go. So today we're going to be making a treasure map. And you can make a treasure map with just markers, pencils, and a paper bag that you have at your house. I have this paper bag that I got something in from REI. And what I'm going to do is I'm just going to take my scissors. I'm going to cut it up. So I just cut down a seam. I'm going to cut the bottom off. You can use a grocery bag. If you don't have a grocery bag or a paper bag, a brown paper bag, you can use a piece of white paper. Here's my big giant grocery bag, or an REI bag, which actually wasn't that big, but that. And now what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna trim it up a little bit, okay? And I'm gonna cut the handles off. We're using a brown bag because it kind of gives it, the treasure map, a feeling that it feels old, right? Like it's been around for forever. I got a couple maps to show you, which I've made and other people have made that I really love. And then I'll kind of take you through how to make your own treasure map. So here's one. And I don't know if you can see it here. It's got some kind of fun things on it. This one, we glued some skewers into some pieces of wood so that you could roll it up like a scroll and you could unfold it. So when you're making a treasure map, it's kind of like making something that has all these obstacles that you have to get through or get around or deal with, because it's always an obstacle to get to the treasure that you want to get, right? And every treasure map always has the north, south, east, west compass rose on it. So in a corner somewhere, we're going to put the north, south, east, west, right? The easy way to remember that is never eat soggy waffles, right? And then you have to think about what some of the obstacles might be that you could draw or that you could encounter in order to get your treasure. This one's kind of fun. It starts out and it has these dotted lines kind of showing you where you have to go. The stars are here. And the first obstacle that you have to go through is you have to go through the Kraken's cave. So you have to get through this giant octopus-like monster. Then you keep going and you have to cross over some stepping stones with bubbling tar that you would never want to fall into. Then you come down here. This one I don't like much because I don't like ticks. I don't know how you feel about them, but it says Tick Alley. There's all these ticks. You have to get through this green area. You keep going. The next obstacle is a trampoline, which seems like it would be fun, but you have to jump. Oh, you have to jump on the trampoline and then jump over the death spikes to get over here to these square rocks. And then you keep going, and you might encounter vampire bats. And then finally, you get over here to the treasure chest, and this treasure is dragon eggs. So here's a little treasure chest with dragon eggs in it, and an X marks the spot where the treasure is. Pretty inventive, pretty creative, right? This is the one that I made, and I made it a long time ago, and I made it have a little riddle. So here's my compass, north, south, east, west. I had some pirate skull stickers, so I stuck a sticker on there. And then you could have started out on this one, and you're on a ship, and you land here, right by this giant volcano. See this? And then you kind of go around the volcano and you go across this bridge. Nope, I'm sorry. I'm doing it wrong. You land here. You go around this rock formation, which looks like three sisters, through the skull rock. There's tar around the skull rock. You come down here to the scorpion's lair. Do you see the scorpion? I'll see if I can move it around so you can see it. The scorpion's lair. You keep going up here. You go across this drawbridge or this bridge that has a bunch of things missing and you can fall in and a shark can get you. Then you come down here through the stinging jellyfish lagoon. And then you have to swim underwater to get to an underwater cave to get this treasure here with an X marks the spot, and then there's some other stickers, like pirate stickers there. This one I actually wrote a little riddle about. It says, look for the Three Sisters rock formation, 1, 2, 3. Second, go through Skull Rock. Third, go through Tar Pit Alley. 4, Scorpion's Lair. 5, jump over the hot lava. Rope bridge, and then dive in. And then it has a little saying. It says, below the dripping fire, you will find the treasure you desire. Kind of fun. It's a pretty big one. I think that I took a giant paper bag and I actually cut it apart, and then I glued 2 pieces together to make it this big. Here's another one that I have that's a small one, because all I had was a small bag, but I thought that this is a really great one. This one, you start here. It doesn't have a compass on it, and it's got dotted lines, and the first thing you have to do is you have to go walk across hot coals. Then you have to go through a skunk's den, which is pretty difficult, right? Skunks seem like they're kind of friendly animals, but they have that wonderful adaptive way of making sure that you stay away from them, which is they spray you. Then you go through the slime pit with leeches. And then there's a spider, and then the treasure down here in a box. There's a palm tree. And then this is one that is also a smaller one, but I really liked it a lot, because a lot of times obstacles can be physical, but sometimes obstacles can be mental, right? So here's one. You start here. The first thing you encounter is a bully. How are you going to deal with the bully? What's the best way to deal with the bully on this to get to the treasure? Then there's a bunch of stinging insects. Looks like giant mosquitoes. Down here again, there's some like slime and some leeches, or maybe some ticks again. Come over here and there's a shark. Down here you have to go through the desert with the stinging hot sun, like the teeth. And then over here is the treasure. And then down here in the corner again is the north, south, east, west compass rose. And then this one actually says start on it. So what you want to do is get your bag and kind of unfold it. Here's my example. Hopefully you can see me here. And you want to start in a corner, and it doesn't really matter what corner you start in, right? You can draw with pencil. I'm going to draw with a marker so that you can see it, all right? I'm going to start up here, and I'm going to start by saying start. Here's the beginning of my treasure map. And I'm going to figure out how I can wind my way around this piece of paper, this map, and I can create some different obstacles. And then I'm going to put the treasure down here in this corner, and I'll put an X right here like that, like an X marks the spot for that treasure. Then, oh wait, let's start with a compass. So I'll also put a compass here. When you make a compass, this is what you do. You just make a cross or a plus sign, right? There's a plus sign. And then you put an arrow on each end, like that. And then you're going to put north, N, south, east, west. So N, E, S, W. Never eat soggy waffles. That's the way to remember that. Then I'm going to switch, and I'm going to go to a brighter color. So I'm going to go to an orange marker, or maybe a pink or a red. I can't find my red one, so maybe I'll use a combination of both of these. And I'm going to start right here, and I'm going to go like this, and I'm going to go with a dotted line, a dashing line. See those dashes? And then I'm going to stop right there. So I did 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 dashes. You can do as many as you want, but I did 6. And then watch, I'm going to leave a space to draw right here, right here. So then next I'm going to go like this. 1, 2, 3, and I'm kind of curving them. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I'm trying to make it look like it's curving. See that? And I'm going to go up to this corner, and I'm going to leave a space. See that? And then I'm going to keep going down here. 1, 6 more, like it's curving around. There's another one. I only did 4 dashes there, and I left space here. And then I'm going to make it eventually go like this to my X where my treasure is going to be. That's the first step. The next step then is to now go into imagination, into your mind's eye right here, and figure out what kind of obstacles you want to put right here. Like, what are your obstacles going to be? So I've left space for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 obstacles to get to my treasure over here. And if you can't think of everything right away, just do one and then come back to it, right? I'm going to actually go down here, and what I'm going to do by my X is I'm going to draw the treasure, and I'm going to actually make it look like a pirate's treasure, like it's in an old chest, like this. See that? You just draw the best that you can and make it be whatever you want it to be. So here's my treasure chest with some treasure in it. And then I'm going to go back, and now I got to think about what my first obstacle is going to be. So I think I might make my obstacle be something that has to do with water. So I'm going to use a little blue. And I'm going to find some of my markers over here. Let's see. Yeah, I'll do some stepping stones. Like, you have to step on this stone. You have to step over here. Got to step there. And maybe you step here. So there's 4 stepping stones, right? And then I gotta find my other markers here, you guys. I'm sorry. Reach around. There we go. I'm gonna put some mud in here. So it's rocks and it's mud. And then I'm gonna put some, let's see. I'm gonna put some leeches in here maybe. So if you step off into this mud or into this water, you're gonna get leeches attached to you. And I'm gonna leave some of them black or brown. And then some of them I'm going to put stripes on because there's such a thing as something called a tiger leech in Australia. So let's see. If I put a little orange on it, does it look like a tiger leech? Maybe. Yes. I don't know how you feel about leeches, but I'm not a big fan of them. Although they might be important for some people, right? Maybe if you're a fisherman, you might like leeches. You could use them to fish with. All right, so here's my leech pit. That's my first obstacle. You can name it. You can have someone help you name it, or you can just do it yourself. Leech pit, right there. That's my first obstacle, the leech pit. All right. Now I'm going to come up with another obstacle. So I have to think of something else that I want to put on here. I'm also not a big fan of spiders. So I understand spiders are important and they have a purpose in this world, like everything. But sometimes I like spiders to be outside more than I like them to be inside my house. So let's try and draw a giant spider web. And then you have to go under the spider web, and let's see, what should I put? I'll just put a giant spider. Ah, 8 legs, it's an arachnid, right? So in order to get past this spider, you have to go through its web. That'd be a big obstacle, wouldn't it? If it was really big like that. And spiders can be really big. They're not always really big here in the United States. Well, in the southern United States, they can be big. They can be tarantulas, right? But in other parts of the world, they can be huge. Like I was in Australia once and I saw a spider and its body was like as big as my hand. It was in the rainforest. And I have seen a tarantula too. One time I was visiting New Mexico with a friend of mine and I was like, what's that crawling on the ground? You could see it was so big. And here it was a red-footed or red-legged tarantula crawling across the parking lot. Okay, so I've got my start, my leech pit. I got to get past this giant spider. Now I think I want to make more of a physical obstacle, even though this is kind of a physical one too, isn't it? So I'm going to make kind of a maze, I think. I'm just going to make up a maze. I'll make it be kind of more square, huh? So you have to kind of go through the maze. Let's see. Do you like drawing mazes? I kind of like drawing mazes sometimes. Right? So all of that's a dead end. See that? This is the only way you can go to get there. Okay. Did I make it so you can get there? I think I did. So you have to go through that maze to get there. And you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to make it be, you go from there to there, and I'll make it be a burning hot sun. So if you don't get through that maze fast enough, it's going to get you burned. It's so hot here. Beats down on you. There we go. It's an angry sun. I'm going to get you right there. So I've got my leech pit, my spider's lair, web, a giant maze I have to get through where it's super hot. I need 2 more obstacles to get to my treasure chest. So let's see. I think over here I'm going to actually make, sometimes I like to make land things. So I'm going to go back and I'm going to make one that I've made before, which is I'm going to make a volcano. This volcano is exploding. So you have to somehow get around the volcano. Let's see. Let's make it so you have to go kind of this way around this volcano or this way. And then we'll make it shooting and blowing giant lava rocks up into the air, lava bombs that are falling on you, and boulders as you're trying to get around it. That would be an obstacle, wouldn't it? I have never seen a volcano. I don't know if you have. There we go. You gotta get around that volcano with those exploding bombs. And then finally, let's see, one last thing that you have to get past. Let's make, that marker doesn't work so good. Let's make another water feature. This water feature, you have to get past this water feature. You have to get past some electric eels. How about that? How's that look? Can you see it? I'll move it over for you. Some angry electric eels right there. You got to get past them. Over here to your treasure. So let's see. Put a little bit of gold highlight around the treasure chest. With jewels and treasures in it. There might be still some treasure hidden out there in the world. The really famous treasure out in New Mexico was recently found and worth $2 million. It's called Fenn's Folly. This man decided to, 10 years ago, take some precious jewels and some gold, put it in a treasure chest and place it out in the Rocky Mountains. And then he wrote a poem or a book about it. And then you had to figure out from the clues from the poem where the treasure chest was hidden. And it took someone 10 years to find it. And they finally found it. It was just announced at the beginning of June. So when I'm done sometimes with my treasure map, this is what I do. I know this seems kind of strange, but I had laid it out flat. If I wanted to feel like it's really old, I go like this, crumple it up. See that? You shouldn't do this until you're done drawing it though. And then when I uncrumple it, it makes it feel like it's old and it's wrinkled, right? See that? Here's my treasure map. I start my finish. I could put sticks on either end of it. I also can go like this. I can roll it up. Sometimes it rolls up like a scroll, like you roll one side and then roll this other side. See that? And then you have this kind of cool treasure map that you just made. It's a fun thing to do on a rainy day, or if you're trying to think of great obstacles. Another thing that helps you think of obstacles is this crazy TV show. It's called American Ninja Warrior. I don't know if you've ever watched that. American Ninja Warrior, they have all these physical obstacles you have to get past. And there were two young men from Madison, Wisconsin that were on it the last season. So it's kind of fun to watch. So you can make physical obstacles as well, right? Thanks for joining me today, making treasure maps with the Madison Public Library. I'm Amy, it's Art with Amy. And the next session we are going to, or next time we're gonna make some fake food sculptures. In order to make fake food sculptures, you just need paper, maybe some colored paper. You need to have some pieces of cardboard, like thin cardboard or thick cardboard. Maybe a glue gun would be nice, a glue stick. If you have some cotton balls, that'd be great, some polyfill or some markers as well. Thanks for joining me. Have a good day, everybody.